Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Points. As you can see, we got the full family back in the house today. Welcome back, Mr. Michigan Mike. Got Coop DeVille and Tasha T. Sizzle holding it down here and across the water. Good to have everybody on board today. We got a jam-packed show. I'm ready to fight. If y'all saw the pregame roll, you'd be fired up for today's show. So make sure you get your popcorn, get your May Jane's coffee ready, and let's get down to it. But before we get into it, a word from our sponsors.
We're sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian and your whiskey blend coffee freshly ground by my lovely daughter. She will grind it up, put it in the mail, and you should have it in about 2 or 3 days. Again, people, please continue to support her. This is a young Black woman doing positive things, and this is what we always scream about in the Black community. Black people, Black youth doing positive things. Again, that is May Jane's Coffee, MAEJANES coffee.com.
White people, you drink coffee too. Feel free to join in.
I mean, everybody too, but I'm talking about us, because you know us tend not to support us.
Oh, we're about to get into that right now, as a matter of fact, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle. All right, and the show is also live.
That Wolverine Comics. That's Wolverine_Comics TX. We buy, sell, and trade comics. Now's a good time. If y'all are looking for some extra cash and you got some comics in the back, just let me know.
Right on, and welcome back, Michigan Mike. Now, we're about to jump off script, ladies and gentlemen, because this morning I turned on the television, and I see one Mr. Prime Time Deion Sanders, one that we've talked about the last couple of weeks, Mike, hosting College Game Day on a national stage. Now, we've gotten into discussions the last couple of weeks about Deion Sanders, the impact of Deion Sanders, and how that relates to HBCU football as a whole. You two are not quite sold on Deion and his impact as an HBCU head coach. And this was prior to the announcement that College Game Day will be coming to Mississippi. Coop, I see you looking at Game Day right there on that 99 TV of yours. It looks really good. Does this not move the needle at all, in your opinion?
Oh, and direct impact for Jackson State, it probably moves the needle, but the overall scheme of HBCU football, I keep repeating and telling people, it is dead. The level of talent is dead. I just take this area being in Nashville, not one person is directing their D1 athlete, football player to go to TSU. Ainsworth, Brentwood Academy, all these schools have average to mediocre players that could go and shine at TSU, but those coaches they look at that as a step down. They're trying to get their students to Auburn, Alabama, Georgia. They're not telling them, hey, go play in the OVC. And people keep talking about the swag, the impact. And I looked at the records just last night. Everyone is under 500 except for Southern. Like literally,
who plays Jackson State today?
Who plays Jackson State today? Like literally, no one gave them a game. So it's not, the talent is not filtering out to other programs. They're only going to Jackson State because of Prime. If Prime leaves, you don't have the attraction. You don't have the facilities. You just don't have what Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Notre Dame, you don't have what those schools have. And these students these days, they need shine and flash. So it's not doing it. Okay, good. The game is on ESPN3 today at 1 o'clock, and I guarantee you nobody's watching that unless it's a Jackson State or a Southern fan. Auburn fans, Alabama fans, none of them are watching it.
To your point, Coop, didn't you say the same thing about the Big Ten? That the only people who will watch Northwestern versus Nebraska are the students of the school, alumni, and family and friends?
Yeah, and that's still true today. I don't see anything different.
So that goes for the Power 5 conference and HBCUs then, right?
But the difference is the Power 5 conferences have these sponsors and the money built in already.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Because
they have everything built in. They already have the deal. See, it doesn't matter who
that's what Deion was speaking to last week, that the sponsors are starting to line up. How he got Home Depot to build them a facility.
But they lining up for Jackson State. This is not filtering down through the MEAC, through the SWAC. What's the other two HBCU conferences?
It's a second season.
But it's not filtering down. Soon as a Power 5 calls Dion, he's gone. And so is all that fanfare. And you're going to have HBCU ball back where it always was, looking for the halftime, and the drum major doing this and pointing to the sky. That's what
Mike, we're going to come to you in just a minute when we get to the Power 5 schools. But this right here is a perfect example on why Deion Sanders is needed in an HBCU program. Because the community and the alumni do not support the schools traditionally. They're going to follow. They're not going to pour back into the universities. That's why there's no facilities. There are millionaires that have gone to HBCU schools.
And they still are not giving back.
Wealthy people who have gone to HBCU schools and they do not give back. They don't give back and then turn around and say there's no resources at these schools. Well, when you look at a UT, when you look at a Michigan, when you look at schools like that, those alumni come back and give back to the school. We see it all the time. No HBCU people, they go to the school, they get their degrees, and then they go on and live their lives and leave the school over in the trashy neighborhood with no resources. And then they look down over their glasses and say, I wouldn't support that because you have no resources. But then we'll fly across the country to go watch Michigan play in the Rose Bowl. I'm just saying that's where we are.
Look at TSU. Now, this is not verified, but there is a good – when TSU got that indoor facility, and who started coaching there when they got that facility? Cromartie did. He gave money so TSU could have that facility. If somebody can check me on that, but if I'm not mistaken, he gave that money so TSU could have that indoor practice facility.
Right, but the trickle down though needs to come from the community and the alumni.
That's the thing. It's not. That's why we keep saying Deion is good because he is making people look at an HBCU brand of football. But overall, for all HBCU football, he's not good. He's only good for Jackson State. And then he's going to say, oh, who's SWAC? So what's going to happen now? People are going to say, let me look at the SWAC. And then they're going to flip the page. As soon as Deion leaves, only time they're going to come is when there's homecoming or when it's Southern.
That's not Deion's fault.
Also, Paul, let me go back on something that was very big that the state legislator, my friend Harold Love, he unearthed that the state of Tennessee.
My friend, but keep talking.
Yeah, they had owed TSU over $500 million. The money that each state school was supposed to be getting from like the 50s, they never gave TSU their money. So they went back and noted they realized they owed them over $500 million. They were giving the money every year to MTSU, Austin Peay, and UT and Middle, and they were not giving their TSU their stipend every year. And they went back and realized it was over 500. So you look back over the last 60 to 70 years, and you were supposed to be getting maybe $2 to $10 million every year, and you didn't get it. That is a big setback also. So dramatically, they forgot to give TSU their money, but all the other state schools got their money. So there's a lot more.
They continue to travel to play at the Titan Stadium when you can't even fill the Titan Stadium up. Number one, go to the hole. You can't even fill the hole up. Remember when we were there, the opposing team never came to the hole. The opposing team still does not come to LP Field. That's money.
Bethune-Cookman had nobody. Bethune-Cookman brought nobody that's why I'm explaining to you about, they keep saying this SWAC. Even if TSU played Jackson State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, those people don't have the funds to travel like big Power 5 schools because the alumni is not as big. You got Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Notre Dame, Michigan fans everywhere. See, these fans are centrally located, and these are small numbers. You got Michigan, they got fans everywhere. If they play in the Rose Bowl, they can fly out 60,000 people in a drop of a dime. That doesn't happen in HBCU football.
Right. And we'll put a nice little bow on this because we're just continuing an offline conversation we were having. Just me personally, I feel like that if it's just like voting. If you don't vote, then you can't really complain about who's in office. So if you're not supporting HBCU schools without Deion, then I'll just say let Deion do what he does because he's doing more than anybody else has done for any HBCU school. At least he's bringing visibility there. At least he's bringing college game day there. At least he's bringing
Jackson State only.
Right, but the thing, you have to start somewhere. It's not his job to get TSU's program on its feet.
Yep.
It's the alumni at TSU's job.
That's all well and good. But Deion is using, in my opinion, he's using HBCU football because no one would give him a Power 5 job. No one was giving him really any.
Right.
Where did he, Paul? You raising your eyebrow? He
was down there coaching high school football.
Yeah, they'll do that Rooney Rule type thing and say, "Oh, we gonna look at Deion. We may interview Deion." No one was seriously gonna give Deion a job.
So wait a minute, HBCUs aren't using Deion?
Jackson State is. That's me and Coach's point. Right. That's what we.
Well, the thing is, the HBCU schools are benefiting from Deion being there. I think it's the other way around.
That's what we're trying to say.
Well, Jackson State is, yeah.
Right. So when Jackson State says, "Okay, we're gonna bring Prime in here. We're gonna see what Prime do for us." Prime we're bringing some top name recruits. He got his son out there at quarterback, doing whatever. As soon as Deion leaves, all of the fanfare and this hoopla about HBCUs and Jackson State is going to die.
Well,
on the national scale, because we have our pride in our HBCU, so we're gonna support it. But on a national level, nobody's going to. I mean, we gonna say, okay, go Big Blue. We gonna say TSU. We gonna go to the parade. I'm for one. When I was there, I didn't sit in the parking lot because I'm a football fan.
Yeah,
I went to the stadium. I watched the games when I went. I didn't tailgate outside because that's not what I like to do. I like to watch the football games.
And that may be the main issue. HBCU football is a party. Nobody is going to see a football game. And I think the African-American football population has gotten used to HBCUs as a party and the Power Fives as that's where I want to watch football because it's real football.
I mean, well, the thing is, so that's just games being played at the highest level. I think all of us want to see athletes compete at the highest level. That's why the Olympics are always.
And you're not seeing that at HBCU, so it's like watching a glorified high school football game. And you're like, I'm not paying $50.
But if that's your
I'm not paying $50 to see a high school football game. I saw that for $7 last night. See,
but without the resources, without the fan support, then it's going to continue to be that way. So,
that's what I'm getting at.
If you're not giving to the community, if you're not pouring back into those schools, then it's really, that's just a hamster just running on the hamster wheel.
That's the point. Most HBCU fans are not football fans of that. They're there for the band and what party is that weekend. Now, how you change that? That is a big issue right there.
You change that with the Deion Sanders of the world. So as we transition,
you can't get a Prime at all HBCU.
Yeah.
So
well, you can't get a Nick Saban at every Power 5 school either. I mean, there's going to be haves and have-nots.
I just saw on one of my friend's daughter's ex-husband's Instagram feed, and they are Tennessee fans. I bought my first key from my baby mama brother, but he is dressed up like Harbaugh on his timeline.
Yeah.
And they are Tennessee.
That's fine. That's fine and all, but I just think that as African Americans, we should applaud and encourage Deion to continue to do what he's doing. If nobody else is stepping up to the plate to do it,
I'm not. Because I think he's using every opportunity to put the light on to him to make him.
What's the difference between that and a Power 5 coach? They're always looking for the next big gig.
Yeah. How long Saban been in Alabama?
It gets no bigger than Alabama. Didn't Harbaugh just try to go to Minnesota last year after winning the Big Ten?
He wanted some more money from Michigan. We know
he was about to leave, like he's left other schools.
He wanted more money.
Look, he knew Minnesota couldn't afford it.
Right. This is. Yeah. I want to apologize to the community on behalf of these two because we have Hall of Famers from HBCUs, and Sweetness is rolling over in his grave right now. We're gonna move on though because we can get stuck there all morning. Mike,
Jackson State alum, Sweet.
Welcome back to the show.
What up, Mike?
Mike, welcome back to the show. We're gonna get you into this thing right here, right now, because tonight on ABC on ESPN3. Wait, Shamika with the walk-off. Lane Kiffin been all over the damn country. Ain't nobody says a word. Nobody.
But he got forced out and nobody wanted it.
Now, Mike, we come to you. It's one of the biggest games of the college football schedule today, one of the biggest games on the schedule for any Michigan or Michigan State fan. It's the state rivalry. We got little brother coming to town, party coming to take on Michigan. They've won the last 2, and they've won
Can't wait.
10 out of the last 14. Now, let me ask you this, Mike. We've been here before. All right, we've been 7-0, cruising along with our eyes set on the third Saturday, Thanksgiving weekend in November. Looking forward to Ohio State. Then a 3-5, 4-4, 5-3 Sparty team comes in and knocks us off in the most improbable way possible when we are the decided favorite in the game. Mike, what does Michigan need to do today to avoid a 3-game skid against little brother?
I think just keep playing how they've been playing. Last year, Michigan State was also undefeated going into the game. So it was battle of undefeateds. Michigan State has been consistently having at least a key maker, like a key maker. So that key maker we haven't been able to stop. And I don't know, it seemed like bad defensive coaching scheme on our part. I think this year
Michigan State with 5 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, I think this year Michigan State doesn't really have anyone, and we have a very it's a different Michigan defense. Like it's not the same defensive line that's like pushing over everyone and just going to the ball. They're just more flying around, and looking for those turnovers. We have a great. I'm really impressed by our secondary too.
Yes.
I don't see how Michigan State wins this game. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Are you taking the 23 laid down by Vegas?
Oh yeah. I'm
really?
taking like 35.
That's a lot of points, Mike.
Hey, I told you Penn State was gonna be that way too.
You did, and you were correct. Now, cool. Let's play. We don't want to say devil's advocate because we don't come off on this show. We're gonna say Coop's advocate. All right, Coop, you're Michigan State. What do you need to do today to make it a 3-game winning streak against Michigan?
Get Kenneth Walker back at running back for NFL.
Exactly.
I mean, they're ranked 116th in the nation in running, and if you can't run the ball against Michigan, you have no chance. And they're coming off a bye week. They may as well just be on another bye week. This is not good. There's nothing that should stop Michigan from rolling up 200 to 300 yards rushing on the ground. I mean, Corm is having his way.
This is.
This should be another smash mouth, take them out of their misery by halftime, you just got to look at Michigan's ranked 7th in rushing in the nation. I don't see any way they can lose this game. All eyes are just still on Michigan, Ohio State. It's just there's nothing else left in this conference. It's nothing else left, and I don't even know why everybody's making a big deal. Michigan State has nothing.
Because you haven't suffered those last 2 excruciating losses to Mel Tucker, damn it.
Yeah. They both wrong. I don't even know what you finna ask me. Let me tell you something. You don't ever count out somebody when this is their Super Bowl. This is
wait a minute, hold on, Tasha. What is your classic saying about a team in this predicament? They're skating what?
Skating without a stick. Their main goal.
They don't even have skates on right now. They can't skate.
They know how to play ice hockey. And
they're the little brother that's on the bench waiting to be called out.
Did you see them play against Ohio State?
Of course, I'm not saying Michigan is going to lose. I have them winning. But don't be surprised if you see Michigan overlooking because of the record and little brother come in there
nope.
and do a quick hip check. And then there you go in the 4th quarter, and we got to depend on the field goal to win the game.
That would be a nightmare.
Never gonna happen.
I would die.
Remember 3 years ago, the kick 6, we were ranked 6th in the country. They were middling around. Like this is one of those. Game Day did a montage of all the times we were favored over them since Mike Hart said the infamous little brother thing, and they beat us. They are 10-4 against us since Mike Hart called them our little brother. So we need to be careful to not just totally dismiss Michigan State. Natasha, let me come to you with this. Okay. Now, Harbaugh has basically had the highest approval rating that he's had in Michigan since he began over this last year. Since he beat Ohio and won the Big Ten, his approval rating has been up there. If he loses to Mel Tucker again today, is all of that washed away? Are we right back to putting him on the hot seat?
I don't think we're putting him back on the hot seat because we all know everybody's job in Michigan depends on if they beat the FIs. They swept old poor little Lloyd Carr out because he couldn't beat them. And then they just named the tunnel after him 2 weeks ago. And then they got to fighting. Them and Penn State got to fighting in Lloyd Carr Tunnel.
Don't y'all know don't fight us at halftime. We're going to come out in the third quarter and put them paws on you. Keep going.
But I think, of course, we want to see Michigan win. We want to see Michigan get back to 97. We want a rolls in the mouth. We want that.
Yes.
But if they lose to State, if he beats the FIs, it's still going to be all good.
Yeah, it's a redo from last year.
Tasha, you can't be telling me that you want to be ranked in the top 4 and playing for the national title, and you're worried about Michigan State in 2022. I don't want to hear it about this. This should be a bloodbath. Everybody else has smashed Michigan State.
Oh, yeah.
They lost to the Gophers by 30.
It should be. But again, when you have
that sounded good, Coop. That was pleasing to the ear.
You can't be worried about Michigan State if you
want
me to put you up there with Ohio State.
I don't trust nobody. I'm like Nino Brown. I don't trust nobody.
That clearly shows me that's why I put Michigan on the outs of the top 4, because even you don't believe that they should be able to smash mouth Michigan State.
No, I didn't say that I did not believe that they should. I said don't be surprised because this is State's national championship.
It is.
This is their Super Bowl. So don't be surprised if these boys come out and play with a little more oomph. I didn't say that. That's the first thing out of my mouth. I did not say Michigan was going to lose. Of course, I think Michigan is going to lose.
But you're worried about that 23 points.
But I don't think it's going to be 23 points. I hope it is.
Oh, yeah. We're going to beat them up.
They should be definite.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love having the whole crew on set when we talk college football. I get to sit back and eat my popcorn, and it is delicious. Now, Coop, you just brought me back on script talking about the top 4. Mike, we're going to start with you since you didn't participate last week. Okay. The official college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday, but we ain't waiting around on them. We got our experts right here. So we're going to give you who the top 4 are heading into Tuesday prior to today's action. Mike, you up first. Who's your top 4?
I don't see how it changes. I'm going to go Georgia, Michigan, Tennessee, and Ohio. I'm not sold on Ohio, but if we're doing it up to this point, I got to put them in there. They've been trying to keep up. That's what I like. That's what I like right now being a Michigan fan is even the fans. We talk to the fans, we smell the blood, right? Like they have doubts. They haven't had doubts in a while.
You ran into a couple at the fair.
You can even tell when they're playing. They're like, oh, man, Michigan blew out Penn State. Man, all right, we got to do 10 points more than they did. They never had to do that before.
Running fake punts in the fourth quarter when you're up by 30. That's
another weakness, and I love it.
Hey, Mike, can you repeat that top 4 one more time for the crowd?
Oh, here we go.
I got Georgia, Michigan, Tennessee, Ohio.
Okay, cool. You up next.
That may be the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
What, Ohio in the top 4? I agree. I totally agree.
You got Michigan in front of UT, and Michigan ain't played a single soul yet. That's God Almighty, Mike. Come on, Mike.
Here we go.
Now you got to be better than that, Mike. How do you do that, Mike?
Would you like some more popcorn?
Mike, Tennessee beat Alabama.
We can only play our schedule, right? We can only play our schedule.
I'm like, you looking at Tennessee and you okay, I'm gonna leave you alone, Mike. I gotta go right now. Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama. I can't put another Big Ten team up there. Well, guys, I'm looking.
You got Alabama beat
right now.
Because Bama is still better than
No, see, there's the bias coming out again. There's the bias.
No, it's no bias. On the neutral
you just said.
Why I'm saying that is, on the neutral field, Bama probably will still beat Tennessee. On the neutral field, that's what I'm going back to. I watched Bama again. I still think they're one of the top 4 teams because they still have more talent, and all they have to do is go back. They're going back to the SEC championship, and they're going to play Georgia, UT, and they're going to beat either one of those teams on a neutral field, then what do? You're going to have a one-loss Georgia, one-loss Tennessee. It's no way I can put Michigan up there, and they're going to lose Ohio State, and they played nobody else ranked the whole season.
Wait
Penn
a minute.
State
Hold on.
blew
Wait a
them
minute.
out.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Michigan, Georgia, and Ohio State are the only 3 teams in the country that are top 10 in scoring offense, scoring defense, and point differential. Michigan, regardless of their schedule, they're beating the teams by the point spread. Tasha, who's your top 4?
Penn State was
It's hard
10 when we
not
blew
to
them
when
out.
You're playing Rutgers. It's hard not to.
Well, we haven't played Rutgers yet. That's in a couple of weeks. See, Sissel?
My top 4 remains the same as it did. I have to have the FIs at 1. I got Georgia at 2. I got Tennessee at 3, and I have us at 4. And I do agree with Coop, not about Alabama being a top 4, but Alabama is not to be played with.
I'm telling you.
They can't. Look at how they came. I mean, I'm in here screaming and singing Rocket Top to the top of my lungs. I know my neighbors was like, what is she saying? Other than the fact it was in English. But at the way Alabama started to steamroll and had that get up and that go about them, and I'm not saying Alabama's top 4. I think they're done. Alabama's not to be played with at all. And this is the week.
Well, how can they be done and not to be played with at the same time?
No, they're done as far as top 4.
How is that? They're going to make it to the SEC.
Because, Coop, you got Georgia, you got Tennessee, either one of them. And I don't think Alabama can head-to-head. I don't think that they could.
They won't lose the rematch to UT. Let's just put it
right. Not on the neutral site. They won't. No,
they're gonna lose the rematch down there in Georgia.
They wouldn't lose a rematch to Tennessee, and I think they could beat Georgia. That's why I say they're not done.
Nobody's going to
look. I'm not gonna ever count out Alabama from any conversation when it comes to college football. That's just point blank.
That's because the posters are going to keep them in it. Because they have a big fan base, so the posters are not going to let them drop too far out of arm's distance.
But like I said, this is the weekend to go out there and beat the brakes off of anybody that you playing. So when them rankings come out, they're gonna look back. Oh well,
LSU might beat them.
Right, they played such and such by and only beat them by 3 points when they were supposed to beat them by 15. This is the weekend to beat the brakes off of any team that you playing. Watch, like Mike said, Watch the FIs go out there and try to just go for the jugular on Penn State.
They got to beat Penn State by more than we did, and that was 30 points.
And Coop don't talk about that game because I guess Michigan didn't play Penn State, right?
We played a top 10 team and put them over our league and beat the brakes off of them.
Penn State is not a top 10 team.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
They never was top 10.
Here we go.
Not anymore.
See today, what did I tell y'all about Penn State? They can't score, so you can't be in the top 10.
Nobody can score
14 points.
Nobody.
They keep
top 10 scoring defense.
They played all high school teams. None of the teams in the Big Ten can score, but Ohio State and Michigan.
We played IMG high schools though. They got college prospects.
Clothes ringing her name.
Look at the teams they played.
No. We ain't got to do that because I'm coming to you for a different game, Coop. Now, we'll give you props for this. On your debut on the extra point, you said that the UT Kentucky game will be a big game in the SEC. I gave you the side eye at the time, but lo and behold, here we are, and it is a big game today. Now, Kentucky is 9th in the country in scoring defense and 14th in yards allowed. Can their defense keep up with the high-powered Tennessee offense today, Coop?
Nope, they can't. It's a different ball game. Tennessee is a different team, man. They just are.
They're my number 1 right now.
If you can't score, you don't have a chance because they spread you out so much, and they got you. You got to play so much of the field. And I mean, I went back last year, and they said Kentucky had time possession at 46 minutes. Tennessee only had the ball for like 13 minutes. And they scored 25 points in 13 minutes. It's something different about that guy, man. I mean, this team is something special. They can score. They can score any means necessary. That's why I say it has to be an elite team with an elite quarterback and offensive prowess to do something with UT. Because UT doesn't care about, they know they don't have DBs. they're cool with that because they're like, we scoring 50. Can you score 50? And that's
Now the only team that I think in the country that's built to combat that is the University of Michigan, because we'll flip that time of possession with that 350 yards rushing and keep
You're
letting
gonna
them
ice them.
off the
It's
field.
called ice in their offense.
all they have to do is stop Michigan twice and you will lose.
That's true. That's
what
true.
I'm going back to.
That is true. But we're gonna run
Then
that.
all Michigan would have to do is stop them twice. You know, like it goes both ways.
Hey,
you
that front four ain't gonna be played with.
See, that's the difference. When you're playing an SEC team, they're gonna bore up on run defense.
I'm saying is Bama stopped them twice, and we saw the outcome of that. Tennessee still prevailed.
Wait a minute, are you turning on Michigan right here live on TV?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Again,
you know she SEC. Come on now.
Missed the field goal.
Y'all know.
Your SEC hat, damn it.
Yeah, go ahead, go get it.
Y'all know I'm not one of them people that just say what people want to hear because that's my team. You got to look at stuff realistically.
I'm blocking you on Twitter, damn it. This is personal.
Go ahead.
SEC teams don't let you run up front. You don't run on SEC teams. You don't run for 250 on them. They won't allow it. They have enough depth up front with defensive tackles and they love when a team just runs only. That's why when Tennessee came with this spread them out, it changed everything against Bama. If they would have just handed the ball off,
until Blake Corum start hitting them creases, and they keep saying Michigan first down, and then we bring it.
Tennessee will not fear the pass. They will just stack the box and make him. That's what SEC.
Make a 5-star have to throw the ball. Like, come on now.
JJ gonna get busy. We got a 5-star too. His name is Jimmy Walker Jr. Y'all better check him out.
Another good call out on Tennessee. They're 6-1 against the spread. So if y'all are betting that.
Mike, welcome back, Mike. Hey, look, we know it's getting close to Christmas time. Them kids need their Santa Claus to come on through.
Money running. Mike got a baby.
Mike out there buying cars and flying all over the country.
What you need.
All right, see, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love to have all three on the set. Because I don't want to stop talking college football because they get the hair standing up on the back of my neck. All right,
hey Paul,
pros though. Last thought on college.
One thought on that. Only way Kentucky can hang in this game today, they're going to use Barryon Brown, the Pearl Cone product. That's their only chance. He's going to have to make explosive plays today. That's somebody you should watch out for because Tennessee, that's something that can exploit Tennessee secondary. But that run game with Rodriguez and Will Levis is not going to be enough. This could get ugly very quickly.
Yeah.
Like the night game tonight. Ugly very quickly. Now, let's move on to the NFL, and we have a couple of quarterbacks taking center stage on Sunday afternoon. Dak is back. Round of applause from the no round.
Is he though? No, yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So wait a minute. Look now. Tasha, you gonna help me out on this one today? No. All right, we're gonna talk San Fran too, Tasha. All right. So we have the 3-4 Chicago Bears coming off an impressive Monday night victory over the Patriots, coming to D-Town to take on the Dak Prescott-led Dallas Cowboys, who will be without Ezekiel Elliott, who's been a big component of their offense.
Dang, so they might win for real.
No Cowboys slander on this show today. All right. She said, don't do it. She's a cowgirl through and through. Now, Tasha, no, I'm going to save that question. Mike, I'll start with you. No, I'm going to save that question. Mike, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
Can Dallas get it done this week against the number one rushing team in the NFL in the Chicago Bears without Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, I mean, I think the spread opened up at like 5. And so I was like, okay, that seems reasonable. And then they heard that Zeke wasn't going to be playing. And so it went from 5 to like 10.
I think
11 at this point.
That's so disrespectful.
So I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to say definitely.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you're sold that Tony Pollard can tote the mail in full-time duty is what you're saying.
It's his time to shine with no one else behind him. He's like, here's the ball. Go ahead, do what you do. And so, yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be the fast offense that Dallas originally wanted, besides all the injuries and drop balls and bad passes, whatever. But from a running back standpoint, it's going to be crazy.
Man, y'all gonna put some respect on Zeke's name. He's been playing decent this year. He's not an RB1 anymore, but he has been solid in split duty with Pollard. I think in tandem they've worked well. And like he's not tapping on his helmet after every run like he has in the past couple of seasons. He's trimmed down, and I think that his loss will be tremendous on first and second down. I'm a Pollard guy, but not a Pollard fan. I think that he does well in spot duty. I don't know about 30 carries. Now, Shamika disagrees with me, and she's a cowgirl. She says,
hey,
last season and broke it. Okay.
Tell him meek.
Now, cool. Wait a minute, didn't I see a picture with you and her on Instagram? Like, this world is a very small world.
Hey, that's my baby right there. Oh, meek from high school.
She said back up there, Paul.
Okay, she says, we have enough receivers and tight ends to get it done. She must be looking at the script. Because I'm coming to you, Coop, with a wide receiver question. Is CeeDee Lamb a wide receiver 1?
No, I told you that. Me and Mike tried to explain that to you at the beginning. We said once.
Don't be bringing up old stuff. Just answer the question.
Once I knew that once he got everything set in his lap, it was going to be a whole different ball game. Also, Zeke had a decent game last week.
He did.
I think he's really feeling the pressure, and he did have a decent game. But this offense, like Mike said, is more suited for the Pollard off. It's more suited for him. They've gotten away from the Tennessee Titans turn around and hand it off in 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's more elusive. He can change the offense because you don't know if they're going to pass to him. They're going to pass downfield. He can run in a slot. He can do a lot. So I think it's more suited for him, and it may open things up for Zach. It may help him out too as quarterback because he can dump off a lot more stuff to Pollard.
Are you confident enough in Pollard to take the 10 points for the Cowboys this week?
Oh no, I'm not expecting them to beat anybody by 10. I'm not. I don't trust Chicago, but they do play defense.
And they do run the ball. They average 100.
I don't know what that was they pulled out on New England Monday night because that shocked everyone. Like, where did all that come from?
It shocked me. I had the New England defense playing.
I realized they only play well in the rain.
Shamika, what's going on with you? You had some truth serum this morning? She says, no, hell no. Don't take the 10 points. T-Sizzle, we know you ain't taking the 10 points. So let's go to the Chicago side with you. I got a true or false statement. Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears in 3 years. True or false?
False.
Is that his fault or Chicago's fault?
Both.
Right.
Oh, I mean, explain. How?
Well, the thing is, when I say both, I lean towards more the organization. I think the organization is really trying with him now. Because then they say he had all these different offensive coordinators, all these different head coaches, and that that does kind of mess with you. But the
Nagy experiment was a disaster.
Yes, and that's when I said they're gonna get that boy killed. But even saying that, if you're supposed to be QB1, knowledgeable, thinking about everything, you know how to do this, you know how to do that, he should be able to go along with whatever scheme, whatever quarterback, whatever coach puts out there. I know that it's difficult if you're stuck with this style of play. If what did I say? Like when old Lyron, when he decided he didn't want to call an audible when they could have won that NFC Championship game that year. Aaron Rodgers really don't care what nobody's calling. He gonna do Aaron.
Right.
That's the same thing I think that he can do. He can do him. If he think it's gonna benefit the team, he needs to do him. He's not doing that.
Do you think it's a confidence thing? The reason why he hasn't done that yet, or
I think he's scared. I don't think it's a confidence thing. If you have your first year, when he started with the second year, you put him out there, he getting bashed. He's gonna be scared. He don't want to get hit. Who wants to keep getting hit like that and ended up like Tua asking for 2 Caesar salads and a bucket of Twizzlers?
Don't do it. Don't get Mike no fault.
He was never a number one anyway coming out of college.
Right. And like we say, those FI quarterbacks, as talented as they are, when they are up in Columbus, when they get to the NFL, they turn out to be stepped on crap.
Now,
so could it be Chicago also? They went from
that's what I said. It's Chicago too. It's both.
It's a mutual failure.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
Mike, that's cold.
I think they're going to try to put it on Fields and then say, oh, we got to get rid of him because they're going to start saying, well, let's draft us a quarterback to try to put the pressure on him. But I think it's just the organization itself is not making good choices. They're not making
I agree with that 1,000%. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, shouts out to her track top. It's very, very sharp. Now, Mike, speaking of Fields, do you think that this is a situation where he may be able to excel elsewhere? Or look at y'all, look at it, y'all. You think he can excel elsewhere? You know, out from under the thumb of a dismal offensive-minded franchise like Chicago, or is it like you said, Ohio State quarterbacks just don't do it in the NFL?
I actually like the talent that Fields has.
He was good on Monday night.
Yeah, so I would honestly give him benefit of the doubt and at least show me what you can do.
Right.
I agree. The Bears almost look like that time, you know, when Eli was drafted, was it to the Chargers originally?
Yeah.
And then he was like up there like, Dad, what do I do? Dad, come save me. I was like, oh, just decline it and go to the Giants. And he's like, okay, cool. I don't think anybody's going to want to go to the Chicago. Like, look how they do Fields, you know? Like, no, that's a bad situation.
But again, too, y'all know, I mean, yeah, they did look good against New England, but New England has their issues now at quarterback. So was that more of a Chicago really doing it, or, you know, New England just being like this?
Right, because they gave them every opportunity to blow them out on Monday night. That was very characteristic of the Patriots.
I think Chicago can save it, but it has to come from the front office. And if they can't get the right people in the front office to make those decisions and change their mindset, then yeah, they're going to be screwed. But you can be saved. Like this franchise, like it's a Chicago Bears. Come on, right? It's not like a Jacksonville Jaguars to where everyone's like, oh no, they
you got the GSH on your sleeve. That's for Mr. Hallis right there on your sleeve.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. If both teams have their way, it could be a 2-hour and 30-minute game on Sunday with both teams running the ball, looking to establish the line of scrimmage and keep time of possession. We will see. She said it won't be this week. All right. Shouts out to the Cowboys. Now, Tasha, let's go to your team. San Francisco at 3-4 is taking on the 3-3 Rams in what could be an elimination game for the 49ers, being that they're third in the division after 7 games. But let me ask you this, Tasha. There's a stat out there that just blows me away, and I'm coming to the 49er faithful fan to explain this. How and why? How have y'all beaten the Rams 7 straight times? That's almost impossible to do in the NFL, beat a team that many times in a row. Different quarterbacks, different receivers, hell, maybe even different coaches. But you've done it 7 straight times. How?
Defense, number one, and luck with what we have currently throwing the ball. It's our defense. Even though my defense, because, you know, I got that defense in fantasy. They let me down. I didn't garner any points.
Garbage.
Don't start this derail, Glenn. Look, you're gonna get us down this rabbit hole, Jarrell. Don't do this.
But it's the 49er defense. If even, you know, back in the 80s in the Montana, Rice, those days, we always had a stand-up defense. The defense, as I always say, and we know this, defense wins the games, and we know this. So that's why we've been able to hold them down, is with our defense. Now, as far as that record being what it is, I mean, I still think because I really ain't believing Seattle finna run away with anything out there. I still think we have a chance to win the NFC West.
Very much so.
But that offense is gonna have to step up. It's gonna have to step up.
Okay, well, speaking of offense, let's go to the Rams side of the ball, Coop. Can Matthew Stafford overcome a porous running game that ranks 31st in the league at 70 yards a game?
Right. That is an issue right now. They're like searching within themselves, trying to find any way to run the football. And it's obvious the quarterback arm is shot, and they're just trying to mash their way through the season because he doesn't look right, and he's only throwing the cup. And they have no intentions on running the ball, really. They got away with it last year in the Super Bowl run because they were so talented on the wide-out section. And this year is coming home to roost.
Right, no Robert Woods.
They got away without running the ball. Thought that was like their key to success. And everybody said, oh, no, we'll let you throw the cup 12 times, but you're not running the ball at all on us. And it doesn't even look like it's incorporated in the offense that they want to run the ball.
Right.
They don't. They just want a basic pitch and catch.
Right.
Pitch it to Stafford. I mean, take it, pitch it to Cup, and let him run. That's all they want to do.
Teams are starting to defend that as well. But to your point, Tasha, about the defense, man, I think it's a mindset thing. I just think the San Francisco 49ers are more physical than the Rams, and they bully them around. Almost like when we couldn't beat Baltimore, we being the Tennessee Titans, because Ray Lewis and them boys were more physical. They were intimidating.
The offense was scared. Tennessee Titans offense was scared of their Ravens defense.
No. Eddie George was scared.
He was scared. Yeah. Steve McNair wasn't. Yeah.
Did his.
Yeah.
But
wasn't enough.
So many uncharacteristic mistakes. You had Bosa lined up in the what am I trying to say? Offside. In the neutral zone twice. That's something that he doesn't do. Now I don't really care for him because the way he went, but it is what it is.
Hey, I got a Buckeye up on my wall and a Wolverine on my wall. So once you get pro, you family. Mike, let me hit you with a true or false. Christian McCaffrey will start every game for the remainder of the regular season. True or false?
I'm gonna go true. I mean, why else would you try to get him? I think when it comes to the health thing, I think that's where it comes in, to where he is definitely prone to injuries. So I think that's the biggest question. I mean, I like Christian McCaffrey. I've had him in my fantasy for like 5 years or whatever. This is the first year. This is the first year that I was like, nah. But I think he's back. I think he's back to finish out the season.
No, all right, round table. Yes or no?
Let the Niners pull up Lane and see don't he pull up Lane.
Hey, they're going to be missing Debo tomorrow, so we'll see the true McCaffrey show up, and he has to take that load. Can he do it? It'll be very important.
No, Langston checking in with an astute observation. He says that Shanahan has McVay's number because he's familiar with that what the Rams do. He comes from the Shanahan coaching.
But that doesn't go for the game for the victories before McVay got there.
They had golf. That's why they were beating them all that time. They had golf. Y'all remember that?
No love for Jared Goff today.
Yeah, they had golf.
And
that guy is the epitome of a loser.
Look, if CMC does play the remainder of the season, San Francisco wins the division by 2 games, even at 3-4 right now. I just think he's just that big.
Eugene showing out there. Oh, Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene doing his thing out there, but I don't buy it.
That's an aside.
I don't either. That's bad.
Wait a minute. You're not buying it. Okay, because we're just about to get into this. Hey, nice segue. The Giants at 6-1 are taking on the 4-3 Seattle Seahawks. Mike, what is more surprising to you? That the Giants are 6-1 after 7 games, or that Seattle is leading the NFC West after 7 games?
I mean, you could show that picture that I posted. I have a picture of the logos.
Yeah, I forgot, Mike.
So,
there we go.
There you go. You got somewhat good looking trash against trash in general, and I mean, it's up to you to make that decision. But I'm gonna say the Giants are the gold trash right now. They're the biggest surprise. I mean, like I didn't think that they were gonna even have that many wins. So. I would definitely say the Giants have definitely surprised me.
Tasha, chime in. What's your biggest surprise?
What Mike said, the fact that the Giants are viable at this point. I don't know where this version of Daniel Jones came from.
Right.
He did trip himself up again last week. Why does he always run and fall down?
He got turf toes.
He did it again last week, and I said, "You got it." I said, "This stay on the ground. Like, why is you on the ground? Get
like
up."
Like Dwayne Wade.
Right, they're gonna pull out a wheelchair for his shoulder.
Right. Always hitting the turf. Cool. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
But to your point, to your question, I am surprised that the Giants and the NFC can't even call them NFC least anymore. I'm surprised that the NFC East. In general, I mean, just a sign to tell you the NFL is down bad if the Giants in the NFC East got 3 teams with winning records.
Mr. Glenn dropping stats. Geno's the best quarterback in the NFC West, 11 TDs, 3 picks. I totally agree. He's my waiver wire pickup of the year. Coop, who's more surprising to you, the Giants or the Seahawks?
Hey man, it's really a battle. I gotta say Seattle because they were left for dead. You remember about 3 months before the season started, they didn't even know who was going to be the quarterback, and everybody laughed when they.
And everybody thought it was going to be Garoppolo.
Yeah, or what's the guy
I did.
from Denver? They were saying he was going, whatever his name was going to go up there, but it shows.
Oh yeah, Drew Lock.
Yeah, it shows what you said, T. Because I got to looking around the league. And I don't know if these teams are garbage or is the league down, because I'm looking, and quiet as kept, I'm looking like the Titans might be the 4th best team in the AFC with that garbage team. So I'm
Wait a
thinking
minute. I can't put on a crown when you say garbage.
No, I'm thinking everybody might be garbage.
Mike, are we the blue trash bag, Mike?
City. I'm thinking everybody is mediocre and
they're the recycling bin.
I mean, I'm looking at the Giants last week, and you can't explain how they're winning games. They traded away one of the most explosive players on the Kadarius Toney. They got rid of him. They're like, dude, we cool. Like, we don't even know who's playing for either of these teams, and they're 6-1. So I'm not going to say they're garbage anymore because it looks like the league is mediocre, and my Titans are first, like 3rd overall seed. How does
about
that
to
work?
be on a 5-game win streak after they dispatched Houston on Sunday.
I don't know how this works this year. So these teams are getting away with mediocre play this season. So I don't know. I can't even call them garbage anymore. Even though I keep looking at their roster and I can't figure out how they won 1 game, no longer 6.
To your point, the Tennessee has won 4 games in a row, and they are like 30th in total offense. Somebody please help me.
30th.
The league is down bad this year.
The league is down bad this year. Unless you're Mike. His team is undefeated for now. We coming back for y'all on Christmas Eve. Best believe that. Now, Tasha, I want you to start this off, but I want you to be nice with this answer. Can you promise that you'll be nice with your answer? No promises. All right.
Can't make no promises, dog.
What quarterback, which one of these quarterbacks is the most annoying to you? Aaron Rodgers or goofy-ass Russell Wilson? Which one is more annoying?
I never in my life thought that I would say this. If Russell Wilson don't sit his corny
that boy corny
down.
It's so cringe, man. It's so cringe.
How you get Sierra with that corny shit?
You come on, we'll talk off wax about that.
Right.
Like I said.
Hey, be nice, Tasha.
That girl middle name is Princess. So we'll talk off wax about how.
I know that. I'm glad you enlightened me.
Christina said it's Rodgers. Christina said, hey, Mike, do you agree with Christina? Is it Rodgers? Is he more annoying?
No, I mean, we have always known Rodgers is on a different level of crazy.
He's a different
You got Russell Wilson being corny up there and being so cringe in his interviews, talking about how he does Pilates on the jet when everyone's sleeping. Like,
everybody else sleep. You didn't even play last week, man. What are you talking about? Like,
and then he makes a Wolverine. I'm kind of like Wolverine. No, man, stop. Stop.
When I saw that this week, I was like, if there was 83 people that I wanted to get their opinion on, it would be you 3. So I had to throw that in there. Cool. Who's more annoying, Rodgers or Cornball?
I gotta go with Rodgers. I don't consider Wilson as being annoying. He's just gotten exposed for who he really is.
A fraud, a fake.
Yeah.
Cornball.
Yeah. He leaned on that Seattle defense all those years, and most people got pulled in. Even I was.
Richard Sherman talked to Warner's. Richard Sherman said this years ago.
And you see, they tried to muzzle him because they didn't want it to get out. Like, this dude is not who y'all think he is.
Right.
I heard an interview this week on a podcast, and they were talking about, like, you couldn't even talk to this dude. Like, he was not even a part of the team.
Yeah,
like,
you have to send a message to his manager to get to him.
Lynch was like, so I got to call your rep to call your ass about talking about us working out. And he was like, I was through with him after that. He said, I was done.
He don't want them real bros to get a hold of Sierra. So he ain't fooling around with none of them old teammates. You know how it is in the NFL.
Because he know how she get down.
She like a rough one. Be nice.
Also,
keep this clean.
Aaron Rodgers had kind of warned us preseason that this team was doo-doo. And he was like, "Hey, this ain't the
right. That's why he
business,
was over in
guys."
the woods,
Yeah.
taking the crap
Smoking
with a
weed
leaf
and
like a
chewing
bear.
on shrooms.
He said, "Yeah, on them shrooms." Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna just do my thing this year because this is garbage."
Hold up, Mike. What? One more time. What did Russell say on the plane? What was he doing?
Hey, I just did some stretching and Pilates. Everyone was asleep, so I was watching video and
like,
then I guess I'm kind of like
You sound just
Wolverine in
like
that
him.
way.
you ain't nothing like a Wolverine. First of
He
all,
was
that's
doing high
disrespectful.
knees up and down the aisle on the plane. He could have had his ass strapped to that leather. Where was this fasten seatbelt sign? I know it was some turbulence.
I wish some turbulence would have got him right.
You
Hey,
flying
they
on
look-
Atlantic. I know.
He over there like this.
They looking at this clown like, "Sit your ass."
No, he got his feet up like this.
Yeah.
Right, he's doing that in the aisle. They like, sit your sausage and egg eating ass down somewhere. All right, okay, I'm sorry. But I had to get y'all's thoughts on that. He is annoying. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all didn't notice, we have a new champion in the Survivor Picks. Mike's 2-title run is over. He's hitting them with the flex.
My wife said I gotta let other people win, or else they won't play with me no more. So
That's why I love these.
That's
why I love
there
these.
you go. You're welcome. Hey, you asked Paul. I switched my pick last season. I was like, you know what? I need Tasha to get a win real quick.
You felt bad for him.
We got
I had Kansas City originally. Just saying.
It's like China back in the old WWE. We got a female champion. All right. So with that being said, we all coming for you today. T Sizzle, we got our picks ready. Are you ready to survive, Beyonce? Oh, I forgot. You don't like Beyonce. I forgot. You're the champion, Tasha. You will go first to last.
I'm going to go with the Bills over the Packers. That's the easy one. It should be.
Okay, so that's how she defended her title.
It should be.
Rodgers. Okay.
All right, Mike, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Don't you do that reverse jinx stuff.
See, because I win regardless.
Cool. You up next. Damn it.
Man, I'm going to take Philly over Pittsburgh.
Okay. Now, you know, Mike Tomlin did us last time, Coop.
Right. I'm playing with fire, but
that's a rival game, too. So
Mike Tomlin beat us last. That's a state championship game.
Baby, he putting them black ones on so he can stomp across the Keystone State, baby.
Right? Oh, the Keystone State. Nice. Okay, now I was going with Dallas as well, but now I'm shaking with that pick because when two of us pick the same team, we both get eliminated. So I'm going to – now, Coop, do you think Tannehill will play Sunday?
I don't think so. He didn't practice again yesterday.
I can't roll with Malik in the first start. I've got to go with my Cowboys over the Bears. So we got 2 Cowboys, an Eagle, and a Bill in the house for this week's Survivor Picks. Tasha, your title is officially on the line. All right. Now, Mike, who you shouting out this week?
I'm going to shout out. Man, you're going to have to come back to me on that one. I got to think about
Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
Wait a minute.
Oh, they got the pizza delivery coming through.
Right, there's the pizza delivery, man. He been lurking. Cool. Who you shouting out this week?
Hey, I like shouting out knuckleheads of the week. So I shout out Giselle for ruining Tampa Bay Buccaneers season. Way to go, baby girl. You did your thing.
The song gonna recover from that.
Hey, me and Tasha kept saying it's something very special going on with this situation. And she called him home and said, "You better retire." Baby, I can't. I told them I'm going to play. Well, if you go back, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. And he went back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's been bothering him because every night he come home, she been on the other end of the house packing and shit. He like, she for real.
But think about it, though. From a man's standpoint, and Tasha, too, you understand as a woman that knows that once she hits the market, that the DMs will be popping. That's got to hit you a different way as a man when she walks out.
Well, I mean, you know what? I ain't never thought Giselle. Nice. No, I'm not being mean. I never thought Giselle was pretty. I never thought
$400 million is sexy to me.
But no, to be you look at most supermodels. Most supermodels are not aesthetically beautiful. They just look good in them clothes and they can walk that runway. And she can walk. She ain't no Naomi Campbell.
All she got to do is take one trip to Paris, and she's gonna have a rapper, a drug
Right.
dealer, an NBA player, an
I mean,
NFL player.
they'll get her just because her name, but her face ain't what's selling. It's her name and that walk, because she can walk, baby.
But right, she can, and she had her own name before, so she's not stepping out of this like right.
Nobody was calling her Giselle Bundchen. They were calling her Giselle.
Right. This ain't
also, y'all,
ex-wife. Like she's doing her.
This guarantees that he won't retire for another 2 years too, because now he ain't got nothing else to do but play football.
Right, he ain't got nothing to do now.
Yeah,
that's why
everyone's waiting for him to come back.
Right now, Mike.
Another team probably next season, but he'll play again.
So you say, will he play again, Mike?
Yeah, he'll play again. Now, I mean, what does he have to go home to now?
No, he's gonna move in with Gronk, and we got to catch him on TMZ Sports. That's what's gonna happen.
Tampa next year, though. I think he's gonna be with another team.
Right, where does Gronk go? Somewhere on the West Coast. Sizzle, you got a shout out?
No, I really ain't got no shout out. Just everybody be happy, everybody be safe.
Okay, Mary J.
I got one.
Gorgeous.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my pregnant wife, who I can't make sit down on the couch because she wants to get up and clean. She's like, I can't. I was like,
she's
okay,
nesting. She's getting ready for the baby.
Mike.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm like, just sit down. Let me do everything. But nope, she won't do it.
She's nesting, Mike. That's what pregnant women do. When it gets close to those latter months, we start to do that.
Right. And the thing is, I can't
baby Margarita.
For my niece to hit the world because she's going to be spoiled rotten. I got my Amazon Prime back with my free shipping. So just be on the lookout because boxes will be hitting your porches very, very soon. The best thing you can have is like friends with no kids because we go overboard when babies come into the fray. So shouts out to you two. Wait a minute. He got some advice for you, Langston, dude. Yo, don't do things. And on that note, we're going to get up out of here because we got a big day of college football and NFL football ahead of y'all tomorrow. You know how we get down. We'll see you in 6 days and 23 hours. Until then,
peace.
Go Blue.
Go Blue. Vamos Azul.